Hello everyone. Just wanted to do a 6-month riding update on my Hanbird Electric motorcycle. As you can see right there, I had to weld a small cage around the battery. I'll explain that in just a minute. So I bought this back in, I bought it last August. So it's been a year since I've owned it. And I've only been riding it since March, because August I didn't get it shipped until, it didn't even get to me until sometime in November, which really sucked because it was snowing out here and I just couldn't ride it. I had to put it in storage, wrapped it up in a wool blanket in a dry contained storage. You know, it wasn't frigid inside there or anything like that, but I still, sorry about the wind, I still had some issues even though the bike was never exposed to the extreme temperatures. Our summers here, the hottest was like 110 maybe. So I've been riding it since March. It's October now, and this went down just a couple days ago permanently. And I'll go into that also, but let's first start out with why I have this small cage here. The original plastics that came from the factory started cracking. I hit a small rough patch of road and they started breaking all over the road behind me, and it was a nightmare. I had to stop on the side, pick everything up. There's no space to put it anywhere. I was shoving them behind my backpack, right up against my back, just trying to pick all my trash up off the road. So these plastics are horrible, horrible quality. That's all I could say about them. I've even had to change the what would be clutch but is actually brake, both brake levers, as well as the reservoir, because the reservoir that they sent had metal debris inside of it. I had to flush the lines and everything, so that was a lot of work. I got new, better, what were they called? Levers here. Sorry, it's still early in the morning. Got better levers here because the ones that came from the factory were actually bent from shipping. Another issue is the speedo is loose. Over time, it had started getting looser and looser. I took it apart. I took apart the front plastics here to try and tighten it up, and it turns out the plastic is actually stripped. So there's that, and here's more cracking. There's more cracking. Now, to the main problem about why this bike is permanently downed. You can see that hanging right there. That's my shock hoop that should be attached somewhere over here. I can't see it on camera right now because I just threw it under, but somewhere this is supposed to be attached right up here somewhere. And you can see that is rusted. This has been coated in a layer of paint, yet there's rust under the paint. I was going about 26 miles an hour when it broke. The bike threw me. Fortunately, the bike landed and didn't landed on the cage I built, didn't break anything, but it threw me off. And now, there's something that broke. Okay, so something did break. The aftermarket turn signals I had to put on, because the original turn signals that came with this bike were shorting. That was another issue. They did not work. So I didn't even notice this until just now. It fell hard enough to scrape it up, break the turn signal. Here's another thing I had to replace. The original rear license plate holder cracked off too. I wasn't too butthurt about that because I just put this nice CNC one on. But this bike threw me at 25 miles an hour. I had my helmet, I had my gear on. Had I been stupid and it was an even warmer day, I wouldn't have been wearing my jacket. I'm fortunate I was. No cuts or scrapes, just a lot of bruises along my back and my arm where I was thrown. But if you go back 3 months before the plastics even started breaking, okay? The plastics broke after 3 months of riding. That's how bad this is. I would have been, oh my God, everyone should buy an electric motorcycle. I mean, this thing gets up to 75 miles an hour. I can get 50, 60 miles on a charge. I charge it right outside my office, by the way, where I work, which is awesome. I barely pay for any of the electricity that charges it. But now, 6 months later, 6 months into riding, I have to say, don't buy it. Just don't buy it. It is, don't know if I'm pronouncing it right, but WUXI Hanbird in China. Just don't. Because that can kill you. The fact that straight out of their factory, it was painted, it was coated and everything, and the rust penetrated, and the welds are terrible. I mean, we're talking about, these are their welds here. That's one. Here's another one of their welds. I mean, I didn't see any of this until I started taking the plastics apart. I'm appalled at the quality that is coming out of their factory. Because it's a shame. The braking is awesome. The acceleration on this QS motor is awesome. The control, the feel of the bike is awesome. Ruined by shoddy quality. And you might have seen that my my peg adapters there are a different color. That's the original. This is one off of a Ninja 500, actually, right there. One off of a Ninja 500. Because that broke also. It was really shitty pot metal. That broke while my weight was on it and my leg went into the road. I was coming off of a gentle curb and it busted through. The pedal sheared right here. So this is actually the original pedal, but it sheared right here and my foot dropped into the road. And I mean, that's just another hazard. So I've had 3 safety hazards on this bike so far that have been potentially crippling. I mean, you know, I got lucky when I got thrown off the bike that the guy behind me came to a complete stop. Until Hanbird decides to take responsibility for their shoddy quality, throwing me off the bike, essentially, this video is gonna stay up. I don't want, I mean, I just want them to fix their mistake. 6 months of riding should not have ended like this. This is not something that you can export and call it any decent quality.